ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की समवेद गौर भक्तवृंद की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयामुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्ते भवति नैष्टिकी। Yeah. So reading from the book Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto number 5, The Creative Impetus, Chapter number 2, Shloka number 14.
ఇదేంటి అర్థం కాల
योऽसौ त्वया करसरोजहतः पतङ्गो दिक्षु भ्रमन् भ्रमत एजयते क्षिणीमे। दिक्षु भ्रमन् भ्रमत
ఐడియాలే
मुक्तं न ते स्मरसि वक्रजटावरूथम्। मुक्तं न ते स्मरसि वक्रजटावरूथम्। कष्टो निलोहरति लम्पट एष नीवी। कष्टो निलोहरति लम्पट एष नीवी।
కొబ్బరి కావాలి
कर सरोज हत पतंगो दिक्षु भ्रमन् भ्रमत एजयते
అది కావాలా
मुक्तं न ते स्मरसि वक्रजटावरूथम्। कष्टो निलोहरति लम्पट एष नीवी।
योऽसौ त्वया करसरोजहता पतङ्गो
కొబ్బరి లేకపోతే
मुक्तं न वक्रजटावरूथम्। कष्टो निलोहरति लम्पट एष नीवी।
చేయింది లేదు గూగుల్ పే ఉందా ఇంకా మేకలా లేకపోతే
कष्टो नीलो हरति लम्पट एष नीवि
ఏమ్మా గూగుల్ పే ఉందమ్మా ఇక్కడ
योऽसो त्वया कर सरोजः
ఇది ఇదో 40 ఇక్కడ ఉందా గూగుల్ పే ఉందా
दिक्षु भ्रमन् भ्रमतये जयते क्षणीमे मुक्तं न ते स्मरसि वक्रजटावरूथम् कष्टो नीलो हरति लम्पट एष नीवि
योऽसो त्वया कर सरोज हता पतंगो
योऽसो त्वया कर सरोज हता पतंगो
दिक्षु भ्रमन् भ्रमतये
इदं।
दिक्षु भ्रमन् भ्रमतये जयते क्षणीमे
तं न ते स्मरसि वक्रजटावरूथम्
मुक्तं न ते स्मरसि वक्रजटावरूथम्
कष्टो नीलो हरति
911
कष्टो नीलो हरति लम्पट एष नीवि
నీళ్ళు బాగున్నాయి ఓపికలేదు
Toward translation and purport by his divine grace Abhay Chanaranda
Gayatri, yeah?
Srila Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada ki
Tamam.
Jaha which okay Asau
असौ
that Vaya
त्वया
by you Karasaroja with the lotus palm Hataha struck Patangaha the ball Dikshu in all directions Brahman moving Brahmataha restless Ejayate
పూలు అక్కడే
disturbs Akshini eyes may of me Muktam scattered no not they your mercy
రోజైతే చంద్ర అయితే లేడు అనుకుంటా
Smarasi are you mindful of Vakra curling Jatha of hair Varutham Panchas Kashtaha giving trouble Anilaha wind Harati takes away Lampataha like a man attached to woman Eshaha this Niveen lower garment Translation My mind is already restless and by playing with a ball moving it all about with your lotus-like palm you are also agitating my eyes. Your curling black hair is now scattered, but you are not attentive to arranging it. Are you not going to arrange it? Like a man attached to woman, the most cunning wind is trying to take off your lower garment. Are you not mindful of it? Purport. The girl Purva Chitti was playing with a ball in her hand, and the ball seemed like nothing but another lotus flower captured by her lotus-like palm. Because of her movements, her hair was loose, and the belt holding her cloth was giving way, as if the cunning wind were trying to make her naked. Yet she paid no attention to arranging her hair or fixing her dress. As Agnidra tried to see the girl's naked beauty, his eyes were very agitated by her movements. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantika Namahom Vishnupadaya Krishna Parishaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityanami Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharini निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशवादी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे So Hare Krishna, welcome you all for the Sunday Longfish program. So very happy to be here among all of you. So This is an interesting section from Srimad Bhagavatam. So, you can see the situation here. So, iha yasya hare dasya karmana manasa gira nikila swapyavastasu jivan muktasa uchate. So we are all bound up in the material world. We are all bound up. Where are the shackles? So we can't see them. But the shackles are the three modes of material nature: mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. These are the shackles which are bound us up in this material world. And one of the biggest Maya's instrument is the sexual attraction between opposite sex. Everyone is suffering. But Rupa Goswami is saying, "Ya yasya hare dasya karmana manasagira nikila swapi avastasu jiva muktasa uchyate." He's saying that we are all bound up, but there is a way. By staying here, we can still be liberated. What is that? Karmana manasagira. If we engage in the service of the Lord Hari Krishna by mind, manasa, gira, speech, manasa, gira, and the karmana manasa, gira, by the body, means senses, in the service of Lord Hari. What will happen? While still being in this material world, we can be liberated. How? In Bhagavatam, this one nice example comes. The coconut. Most of you have seen the coconut. Being in South India, it's an opulence to have coconuts. Like, no, I stayed many years in North India. It's very tough to get a coconut there. That's why South India is a culture that everyone should take something when they go to temple. They all take coconuts, but in North India, it's not like that. So you see the coconut, the shell, when it becomes little dry, the shell, it gets separated from the pulp inside. Like that. While staying in this material world, which is composed of the three modes of the material nature, which is constantly influencing this body, what can we do? We can still be liberated. How? The secret is karmana manasagira. By engaging body, mind, senses in Krishna's service speech. Okay, so why I have brought this shloka is because you see, like I was here in Bangalore, like even though I was cultivated in IIT Kanpur, introduced into Krishna consciousness around a decade back. I was there, like all of you. I was there in Godrum. It is in BMLA. So Godrum, which is in Sai Paragon Meadows. I was there, and for the first time, no, as a young boy, then after coming into Krishna consciousness, I got an opportunity to preach when I was in Godrum base. Like at that time, his base Harikshetra Prabhu was the in charge. You see, but the speech for the first time I got opportunity to speak in Bangalore. So now again I got this opportunity here. Recently I came to Bangalore again. So I really thank ISKCON Whitefield management team for giving an opportunity to glorify Krishna. Why? Because speech, one of the senses which we need to engage in Krishna service is speech. So it's a great opportunity for me on the special occasion today's Ekadashi also. So that's how it's so amazing that even though we are bound up, we can still be liberated by this simple secret what is given by our Acharya Srila Rupa Goswami. So now every day we hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Actually, Srimad Bhagavatam Rasamalayam. Actually, one knows how to get the rasa out of it. They are amazing people. No, but like this is the one shloka. Even though when I was in base, I told this shloka, but this is one thing, very nice shloka. The effect of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimata, not Swakata, that is another shloka. Anytime when I start Srimata, people get confused. But this shloka is so nice. Why? I'll tell you. Srimata Shraddhaya Nityam Grinatascha Swacheshtitam Kalena Nati Dirgena Bhagavan Vishate Hirdi. Now you see, so see every activity what we do, we should not do it as a ritual because there was a story. All of you must be remembering. No, there was a mother and father, and they had a grown-up son. And the grown-up son, what happened? He came to the age of marriage. and then they searched a nice girl, beautiful girl, and they have, in a traditional way in front of their house, putting that special decoration, everything, and they arranged a marriage. But their house had a cat. What they had? Cat. So because cat generally what it roams here and there and disturbs. So what happened? Father tied the cat to the decoration, that one of the walls. So now this happened, and now this son who got married, he got grown up and he has a blessed with child. And then later, when he grown up, his son, when he came to the age of marriage, what happened? He also arranged a nice girl to her, and same way, exactly what his father did. But suddenly, stop marriage. There's one thing missing here. What is that missing? Cat. You see such a foolishness. You don't know why cat had to be brought. What is the relation between marriage and the cat? No relation. But what has happened? Because father has done, so I had to follow blindly. So in a ritual way, he was just following. Of course, what we are doing, it appears that we are doing from quite many number of years. Same thing. Waking up early in the morning. Of course, in the initial days, waking up is also difficult. But when we wake up early in the morning, wake up, no put tilak, put dhoti, no come to Mangalarti chant, and then no hear Bhagavatam. It becomes a routine. Slowly, slowly, we forgot the no value of it. So we should not become like this guy who was just binding cat without any understanding. So it's very important. So that's why this Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srila Prabhupada has given immense knowledge for us to act. What is fifth chapter? Action with Krishna consciousness. So by understanding this subject matter, we should act consciously. We should not act like an animal or like do an activity like a ritual. So this shloka really inspired me because Parikshit Maharaj says this shloka, Srinvata Shraddhaya Nityam Grinatascha Swacheshtitam Kalena Nati Divena Bhagavan Vishate Hrudi. Srinvata. What we should do? We should hear. We are hearing from the morning till night. We are hearing. Anywhere you do what people actually does, they do hearing. And we are also hearing. Nothing difference. But there's a difference. Hearing is same. But the vibration that is entering into the ears, there's a gulf of difference. One is a material vibration, another is a transcendental sound vibration. Shinvata Shraddhaya. How we should hear? With Shraddha. Of course. What is Shraddha? Shraddha is not faith. What is Shraddha? Anyone of you know? Shraddha is not the simply faith. What is Shraddha? No. Of course, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, if you read, there is one nice verse in there. But actually, what is Shraddha? Shraddha is faith based on the scriptures. We are not blind followers. What faith? Faith can change simply. Someone who is following Hinduism, he can change his faith simply and turn into Islam or Christianity. And it is happening. No, I am being from Andhra Pradesh. It is a lot of conversion is happening from Hinduism to so-called Christianity. The faith simply changed. They don't know why they are changing also. We are not like that. Our faith is based on scriptures. Srinvata Shraddhaya Nityam. Not one day, not on Sunday, not on Ekadashi. But what? Every day. Actually, Nityam means every moment also. But every day. Prabhupada has given us this scripture. Srinvata Shraddhaya Nityam. Now the important thing comes. Grinatascha Swacheshtitam. What is meant by Grinatas? Taking the matter. What is the matter? Srimad Bhagavatam. Grinatascha Swacheshtitam. What is meant by Swacheshtitam? Prabhupada is translating seriously by one's own endeavor. You see, one thing that bhakti means no need to have any endeavor, no need to put any endeavor. But what Parikshit Maharaj is saying? We have to put endeavor. What is the endeavor in here? Srimad Bhagavatam. One of the important endeavor is attentive hearing. This is the thing. But the most important thing is No, like long back, I heard from His Holiness Bhakti Rasamrit Maharaj. Bhagavatam is a very nice place for sleeping. Like people are so fed up with frustration, stress that they don't get sleep. But as soon as you come for Bhagavatam class, what will happen? Sleep, the Nidra Devi immediately attacks. So what is the endeavor we should do? Endeavor is waking up and attentive hearing. Okay, so that is the so one. Not only that, what else is the endeavor we should do? And then whatever we are hearing, we should discuss with our friends. Then what will happen? You are remembering. And not only that, and what else is the endeavor we should do? Whatever you are discussing, try to apply in our life. Such a stitam. No, I had a friend like when 10 years back, when I was staying in the Gudrum base, I had a friend Vishnu Swarup who is a brahmachari now in ISKCON Punjabi. Of course, I'm not a, no, I am into like. So still I remember like after the Bhagavatam class, because we used to go in the morning by bus, and because we used to come by afternoon because we had an evening youth program just like all of you have. So while coming in the bus, what is the one thing we used to discuss do is we used to discuss, oh, what that speaker has told. Oh, this is now also I remember the sloka akama sarva kamo moksha kama udarati tivrena bhakti yogena yajate purusham param. This was the shloka discussed and we were relation discussing each other, reminding each other. So this is a one's endeavor. Instead of speaking all nonsense, what we should do, we should discuss about Krishna. Otherwise, what is there for us to discuss with friends? Nothing else is there. All, all the things, as you can see from the shloka today, all the things that are going to agitate us, our mind and senses. So that is one thing. I still relish that remembrance. You can still feel after 10 years also. Such a stitam, taking notes, and then try to apply in our life. All that we are hearing may not be possible for us to apply in one shot. No, it takes time. It takes time. That's why Rupa Goswami tells, Utsaha Nishya Dhairya. It requires a patience. Oh, today I came for the class and then overnight everything should happen as a miracle. No, things will happen slowly. Our constant perseverance is required. Shrunvata Shraddhaya Nityam Dhrunatascha Swacheshtitam. Kalena. What will happen if you do like that? Kalena na ati dirghena. Very soon. What will happen? And everyone's, we all prepare for like, I prepared for IIT. All throughout the time, we are very anxious to get the result. How can I quickly enter into that institute? But what Krishna is, actually what Parikshit Maharaj is saying, no, when devotee tells, Krishna is obliged to fulfill that. All of you know, right? Krishna asked Arjuna, Name Bhatta. Krishna is forced to protect his devotees. That's why we are saying. Because not Krishna is saying, but Krishna's devotees are saying. Here also Krishna's devotee, Parikshit Maharaj is saying, Kalena na ati dirghena. Very soon, what will happen? Bhagavan Vishade Hrudi. Who will enter your heart? Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, will enter your heart. So such a nice benediction. Who is giving? Devotee of Krishna is giving. So there's no doubt that's going to happen. But what are the preconditions? These conditions are there. We have to fulfill all those conditions. But it is true. But one may question, already Krishna as a Paramatma is there in our heart. Sarvasya Chaham Kriti Sannivish Ishvara Sarvabhutana Vritteshe Arjuna Tishtati. So then Krishna already as a Paramatma is there. What is meaning by Krishna entering? So Krishna, all of you know, right? Krishna can be realized in three features. One of the feature is Paramatma. But ultimate feature, the highest realization of the God is the personal, supreme personality of God. He personally enters. So such a nice one. All of us are anxious to meet. No, people ask question whenever we are preaching. People ask this question. Recently in my Bhakti Vriksha also, one of the Mataji is asking very confidential, taking me aside, have you seen the God? So it is a very natural question that people have. That have you seen the God? Can you show me God? So as if God is very cheap item. Whenever I order, so God should come in front of me and he should give his darshan and go back. Just like we want PM Modi should come here. No, that is not going to happen. You see, even Bangalore recently came, how much traffic restrictions were there. It's not so easy to meet a great personality. And what to speak of the controller of the controllers. Supreme Personality of God, Janma Jasetaha Prabhu, everything is coming. All the material and spiritual worlds are emanating from him. How can we expect so cheaply that, oh, I want to see God and God should appear in front of me? No, that's not going to happen. But here the process. We are not denying that you can't see the God. What we are saying, you can see the God, but there's a process. So the process is, this is the process. Not only Krishna will come in front of you, he dwells in your heart. So such a nice boon who is giving devotee of Lord Krishna. So we should be rest assured that every day when we are hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, this should be our inspiration. Yes, I want to meet Krishna face to face in my life. I want to serve Krishna. No, of course, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came for that purpose only. Okay, so but this appears some Krishna is giving some condition. But what is this Srimad Bhagavatam actually? So many shlokas are there in Bhagavatam to explain how Srimad Bhagavatam is a nectar. So, but one of the shlokas, after hearing for 9 cantos, Parikshit Maharaj spoke this shloka. Nivritta Thashe Rupadiyamana Bhaushadit Shrotra Manobirama Kauttama Shloka Gunanuvada Puma Vidajita Vinapashudnam. So he's saying that in the second line. What is saying? Bhaushadit Shrotra Manobirama. Srimad Bhagavatam is simultaneously doing multiple things. One of the thing is it is a right medicine for the people who are suffering from Bhavaroga, who are suffering from birth, death, old age, and disease. But not only it's a medicine, generally in the material world, medicine is very bitter. Is it not? No, of course, you see, if you see the history of our entire medicine, the people previously we are with Ayurveda. Slowly we are came to the modern pharmaceutical industry. And so if you see our medicine generally, Ayurveda, even now also if you take any kashayam, it's generally bitter in taste, but people don't like bitter. The one which is bitter in the beginning, that is going to have a effect in the later. You see in Bhagavad Gita also Krishna says that happiness which is bitter in the beginning will be amrita, nectar in the later stage. So it's a happiness in the mode of goodness. Krishna also saying so. But we don't want to take the bitter thing. So of course now modern medicine does not have any taste. We just take the pill. But this Bhagavatam is not like that. He's saying that Bhaushad Shrotra Manobirama, even though it's a bitter, simultaneously what it is? Manobirama, which is very, very pleasing to the mind and senses. So such a nice thing to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Every day we should hear Bhagavatam. So but you see Parikshit Maharaj, after hearing 9 cantos, he is saying that. This is something amazing. After reading Bhagavatam for few years, or maybe we are not done. As I have completed Bhagavatam, so nothing more. Of course, devotees they try again, but no, little bit force. I have to do it as it. But Parikshit Maharaj is really saying that I am relishing this nectar, and real nectar is going to begin in the 10th canto. All of you know, right? Because everything else to lead to this, it is like lotus face of Lord Krishna. So he's eagerly waiting. Oh Sukadeva Goswami, kindly tell this nectar. So if you see in this shloka, Agnidra and Purvachitti, they are hankering for the material pleasure. But here, what Srimad Bhagavatam is telling about something which is beyond this material world. So you see, Bhagavatam is not an ordinary book. Just like Bhagavad Gita has 5 concepts. All of you know, right? What are the 5 concepts? Jiva, Ishvara, Kala, Karma, and Prakriti. Bhagavad Gita is a very scientific book. Anyone who understands the Bhagavad Gita, they will not have any questions pertaining to both material and spiritual worlds. Of course, regarding the spiritual world, you will have a preliminary knowledge, but everything is there. But Bhagavatam is much advanced version. So Prabhupada says, undergraduate, postgraduate. But what is this postgraduate state? If you see Srimad Bhagavatam, in the second canto only, it is there. What are the 10? There are 10 subjects explained in Srimad Bhagavatam. Because we are in the 5th canto. Atra sargo visargascha sthanam pochanam utaya manvantar ishanukata nirodho mukti rashraya. There are 10 subjects. Bhagavad Gita deals with 5 subjects, but Srimad Bhagavatam deals with 10 subjects. And we are in the 5th subject, 5th canto. Atra sargo visargascha. What is sarga? Is a creation. What is creation according to Srimad Bhagavatam? Is a creation of the 24 elements. That is called Sankhya Yoga. We are counting 24 elements. Visarga. After 24 elements are emerged, like they came out of the Pradhan and Mahat Tattva. So what happens? The engineer of this universe or every universe, they assemble with Lord Brahma, Visarga, sub-creation. So Atra Sargo Visargasya Sthanam Poshanam Mutya. No, Sthanam is also so it is mentioned that Sthanam is planetary system. We have a detailed information of the planetary system. Like 14 planetary system. Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Satala, Mahatala, Patala, like that. Om, Bhur, Bhuvaswar, Janaloka, Satyaloka, Tapoloka, Mahaloka. All these 14 planetary systems are there. In the portion of protection, Krishna, how is protecting his devotees? Utaya. Utaya is the subject where we are. What is this Utaya? Utaya. The title of this Srimad Bhagavatam, the fifth canto is Utaya, the creative impetus. So now question comes. What is this question? Utaya. What is the impetus for the Supreme Lord Krishna to create this universe? It's a natural question, right? So generally people think, in my childhood also I had this question, why I came here? What is the purpose of this creation? Not only many people have this question, why creation is prepared? They think that, oh, God has sent me to serve my parents. God has sent me to serve my nation. That's why Jai Hind, Jai Pakistan, all those things will go. Or God has sent me to do some philanthropic activity, to serve people, to protect animals. For different reasons, people think. But fifth canto deals in exclusion with one concept: the impetus for the Lord to create. What is the impetus? The creative impetus. So, but in general, people have the understanding that why it is created: eat, marry, and be happy. Enjoy. Enjoyment. They think that God has given this creation, let me enjoy to my fullest extent. But the more you enjoy, the more you will suffer. यही संस्पर्शजा भोग दुःख योनयोते आद्यंतवंत कौन्तेय nateshu ramate buddha. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying that. So the senses, the union of the senses and sense objects, it may appear very pleasing in the beginning. Yahi samsparshaja bhoga, you will get happiness. That is called as happiness, so called pleasure. Dukkha yonayote. But what is this? Dukkha yoni. It is the mother of pleasure. What is the pleasure in? What is the mother of pain? What is the mother of pain in this world? The senses and sense objects union. Yahi samsparshaja bhoga dukkha yoni. Yoni means where womb, like child gets generated. So it is the mother of that pain. Dukkha yonayo evate. But it has adi and anta also. So that's why the material pleasure is flickering. It has a beginning and it only stays for temporary. All of us have experiences. Punna Charvita Charvana. We have been enjoying this from many lifetimes, but still we are trying to chew it. So, but still we are not getting the pleasure. But fifth canto, creative impetus, Lord specifically says the purpose of this creation is not for sense enjoyment. So, not for sense enjoyment. So, what is the purpose of the Srimad Bhagavatam, especially fifth canto? If you read the entire fifth canto, you will come to understand the two important concepts are explained. What is the first concept in the first few chapters? The thing is detachment, renunciation. This is the first concept. If you read after Agnidra, Nabi, and then Rishabdev, Bharat, Maharaj, and then Jada Bharat. So it says the famous sloka of Srimad Bhagavatam is also there. Nayam Deho Deha Bhajan, Kashtan Kama Narahate Vipujani, Tapo Divyam Putra Kayena Satyam. Shuddhyet Esmat Brahma Saukyam Tva Anantam. This is the famous sloka. This is from fifth canto. So he's saying that of all the species of life, the one who has got the human species don't work like hogs and dogs. Nayam Deho Deha Bhajan, Kashtan Kaman Arhate Vidbujami. I don't know how many of you have seen, I am from a village background. I see that pig goes, hog goes, how many children they go. So they are always in the. So Rishabh is very strong. Is condemning. You are thinking this creation is for the purpose of material enjoyment. But what is this for? Don't behave like a hog and dogs and hogs. Then what is the purpose? Brahma Saukyam Thananda. Shuddhya Tapo Divyam Putrakayena Sattam. He's telling all his sons, this life, human life is for tapasya. And by doing tapasya, what you get? Brahma Swargam, spiritual happiness, which is ever ending. Like we every day we read it, Anandambu Divardhanam, which goes on and on and on. So there is no saturation in the spiritual happiness. So, what is the second thing that is explained in the fifth canto? The rest of the chapter. No, Sukadeva Goswami is a wonderful speaker. His focus is explaining about Krishna, but while explaining about Krishna, he explained about everything else. What is required? Cosmic manifestation, the planetary systems. So in all the planetary system, he says that very detailed, Jambu Dvipa, Ilavarta Varsha, so many Varshas, islands, Dvipas. So he said, but while explaining that also as a secondary thing, but he's saying the primary focus of all, what do the residents do there? All the residents in all those planetary systems, they are doing one important thing. What they are doing? They are praying to Krishna. In different planetary system, they are doing different kind of. Someone is worshipping Lord Ram, someone is worshipping Surya Narayana, someone is worshipping Vishnu, someone is worshipping Narsimha, like that. But the focus is worshipping Krishna, prayer to Lord Krishna. So you see, Bhagavatam is not mythology, and it is a science, great science. But it's a science explaining 10 concepts very scientifically across all the 12 cantos. But the important thing is, it is a history, just like we have read history, like all of us gone through school studies history, like we have studied about how British attacked India, how different kinds of civilization, Harappa civilization, Mohenjo-daro civilization, how freedom struggle has happened, how freedom fighters have struggled. So these are all recorded in our history books. But Srimad Bhagavatam is a history of the events that happened in this universe from the beginning of the creation. You see, this is also history, but this is recorded not of few hundred years, but it is from the beginning of the creation, from the time Brahma came. So not only that, from the beginning of the creation, but Srimad Bhagavatam deals very scientifically the things that has led to this creation. How Krishna has glanced over Pradhan, how from Pradhan Mahatattva came, how from Mahatattva all these Karmendriyas, Jnanendriyas, Panchatattva, everything is so scientifically it is there. You see, not only what is happened from the beginning of the creation, but what was there before the creation. So that's why Srimad Bhagavatam is a history. It is not a mythology. It is a history of the recorded events of the universe from the beginning of the creation. So when these, in the fifth canto, especially when Krishna, like Sukadeva Goswami is explaining, he was focusing on these two things. He was focusing on detachment from sense gratification and glorifying Krishna. Okay, so that's why our life, instead of reading newspapers, magazines, novels, these, that, or what should be our life is for? We should be dedicating our life for studying Srimad Bhagavatam, such a wonderful literature. Nayat Vajas Chitra Padam Hare Isho Jagat Pavitra Pragrinita Karichit Tadvaya Samtirtha Mushanti Manasa Nayatra Hamsa Viramat Yusikshaya. He's saying that in the first canto itself. He's saying, so Nayat Vajas Chitra Padam Hare Isho, the Harika Yash, the glories of Lord Krishna, they are the only one thing that is going to purify this entire atmosphere. Nayat Vajas Chitra. Even though people may use decorative vocabulary, but that is going to agitate the senses. What we are seeing today in Shloka, Agnidra, how he got attracted to the beauty of Purvachitya, and Sukadeva Goswami is so nicely describing. It appears that in the novels, all the other literatures, where especially sex literatures are there, they describe so in a very descriptive way. But Sukadeva Goswami is saying that, Nayat Vajas Chitra Padam Hare Resho. Even though vocabulary is a very decorative, very attractive vocabulary, but that is not going to purify this atmosphere. Rather, it agitates. Already our senses and mind are fully agitated. Manas Shastan Indriyani Prakriti Stani Karshati. All our mind and senses are fully agitated. But such kind of literature which are uh, given with decorative vocabulary, that is going to disturb us. But what is saying that Nayad Vachasitra Padam Hare Resho, but Harika Yeshu, the glories of Lord Krishna. On the other hand, it has a other effect, 180 degrees opposite effect. What is that? It is going to purify the entire atmosphere. Jagat Pavitram Pragranita Karijit. And Tadvayasam Tirtham Ushanti Manasa. On the other hand, all these literature are like a pilgrimage for the crows. What do the crows do? They go to the garbage. Of course, in city like a Bangalore to see crows is but I'm being from a village. Every day we used to see crows because wherever the place the utensils are washed, all the crows will come and assemble. But you can see the places where garbage is collected there. You can see this. So crows are meant to for eating the dirt. So all these literature which are going to describe the sense gratification, especially sex literature, they are like Tadvayasam Tirtham. They are the pilgrimage for the crows. But on the other hand, Niramantu Sikshara, the Paramahamsas, the great devotees of the Lord, they are not interested. They spit at this literature because they are getting such a relishment, such a rasa from the Srimad Bhagavatam. So they are getting such a relishment, they are not interested in such sense gratification. So our life should be for studying Srimad Bhagavatam. Now you may question what is this described here in the 5th canto, 2nd chapter, what Agnidhara was going through. So, but of course we should know there is a purpose why Sukadeva Goswami is explaining here. So, but if you see, like how Sukadeva Goswami is so graphically describing, no, if you see any movie, any Hollywood, Bollywood, we have seen few years back, because after coming in touch with Srila Prabhupada movement, everything is gone. But if you see any movie, how graphically they describe. If you see Sukadeva Goswami is exactly describing like that. He's taking Agnidhara went to the mount at the shore of the place, and then he was meditating, and suddenly Brahmaji sent Purva Chitti, and Purva Chitti was her every body part was so as a graphically Sukadeva Goswami was describing today's shloka also, and Purva Chitti, she's not concentrating on arranging her dress, she's not attentive to that, and her hair was loose, and then so like that, if you see anyone see suddenly entering hearing that description, and that too Sukadeva Goswami is describing, one may mistake Sukadeva, one may misunderstand Sukadeva Goswami. He must not be, if anyone who does not know who is Sukadeva Goswami, they will immediately, he must be not a Goswami, someone like a mundane person who is describing about the material attraction between men and women. So they will get easily bewildered. But why Sukadeva Goswami is describing such an event? Such an event in this 5th canto where specifically the creative impetus is there. What is the desire of the Lord to create this creation? So because we want to show that, see Shastra, they are very open. Nothing is secret in this material world. Like Shastra revealing everything, how the attraction between men and women is so intense that all the jivas, not one, two, all the jivas of unlimited universe, they are bound up because of this attraction. This attraction is so intense that all the jivas are bound. So Sukadeva Goswami is graphically describing how a man gets attracted to woman, how a woman seduces a man. If you see, all the feelings are based on these things only. Either you will see sexual agitation or violence. So by seeing such movies or by hearing that literature, our senses are going to be agitated. They are going to. That's why Prabhupada clearly said, no newspaper, no novels, no magazine, nothing, no TV, no internet. Of course, but the internet was not so popular. So, but you see, like when I was told, when I went to Krishna consciousness training program, like in IIT Kanpur, I was told in my initial days only, all of you should stop watching TV from now on. Right? How can we live without TV? So this is, I really asked this question, how can we live without TV? TV is something which is inherent part of our life. As part of our Bhakti Vriksha training program, we go to each house, and any house you visit, What is the monster that sits in the center of the house is the TV. I was also shocked. How can we live without TV? But of course, after so many years, understand that we can live.
Vehicle number 8526 and 489. Yeah. 4891. 49 KSUSBJL 4891.
So I was also wondering how can we live without this TV? Initially it was a shock, great shock for me. But you see, Tadvaya some Tirtham, of course, I don't know what was the inspiration, but still because being a devotee is such a wonderful thing, and learning Krishna consciousness is such a wonderful experience. By the power of Krishna consciousness, everything was written. And it like the moment I heard, it was not that immediately I gave up. It took some time. Initially, I said, no, everything, whatever I'm hearing, we have to meditate, discuss, and then apply. And for during application also, we should not be discouraged. It's not going to happen in one day. It takes. But in the association of devotees, it is going to have a faster impact. The more association we take with devotees, that quick the impact will be there. So, and I see in my life, no, nothing, no TV, nothing. But we are really feel bad that when we go to the people house, they are keeping the big monster, which is going to their sense, agitate their senses that is in the center of the house. And all the people together, they are relishing that without understanding the destructive effect that is causing. So, but in this fifth canto, Sukadeva Goswami is so graphically describing, but we may mistaken him that, oh, he's also like one of the mundane person who is affected with a attraction for the opposite sex. So bad. If you hear about him from the devotees, we know from the first canto, as soon as he was there in the womb for many years, almost for 16 years, he was there in the womb of his mother. And when Lord Krishna assured that Maya will not touch you, he's afraid. As soon as I come out, Maya will touch me. But when Krishna assured him, then he came out. But as soon as he came out, he quickly ran from the place and he started walking. But he was a naked person. He was a 16 years old young boy. All his senses were fully developed. And he was walking. You know, earlier the culture was in a village or in a place, there is a separate bathing place for women, separate bathing place for men. So wherever the bathing place for women is there, that is highly protected. No one can enter that place. But Sukadeva Goswami, he just came out of the womb and started walking into the forest. And then he was walking, and then suddenly he came to a place where all the women were naked and then taken back. They saw the Sukadeva Goswami, but they did not try to arrange their clothes back on their bodies. But immediately what happened? Vyasadeva came. Vyasadeva was passing by. But immediately ladies started putting their clothes back. You see, Vyasadeva, who is the author of Srimad Bhagavatam of the entire Vedic literature, these women who are very young, and he's already very old guy. He was already elderly person. But there's nothing like risk there. But still, so of course we should not mistaken Vyasadeva here, because as a householder, he should have that distinction between male and female. But Sukadeva Goswami is already transcendent. He's already in the transcendental state. He already conquered the lust. You see, even though he's a young boy, all his senses were fully developed, and the naked woman, but they thought like he's a balaka, he's a boy, he's a boy, because his senses were like, for a boy, what happens? His senses are not developed. There's no lust of course, lust is there, but it is not fully manifested. It is covered. As soon as the time comes, that gets manifested. So Sukadeva Goswami, you see, such a person who has seen a naked woman, but unagitated, unaffected, he will already conquer the lust. But in this fifth canto, the section where we are going through, how Agnidra got attracted to the beauty of Purva Chitti. But Sukadeva Goswami is graphically describing any person who attempts to describe that, what happens? He will be immediately fallen. But Sukadeva Goswami is because he's not seeing the like no external body, he's seeing always the soul which is part and parcel of Krishna. So that's why we should not mistake Sukadeva Goswami. But any other person, any ordinary living entity, we learn from Bhagavad Gita. Jayate Vishantum Sa Sanghas Teshu Pajayate Sanghat Sanjayate Kama Kama Krodho Vijayate. Immediately, as soon as we start meditating the any sense object, union with sense object, what will happen? Immediately we come into the immediately lust attacks. But Sukadeva Goswami is completely undisturbed, and he went on describing, and later he explains about the 10th canto. You see, that's why Sukadeva Goswami, we can understand the power of Krishna consciousness is the devotee who is practicing pure devotional service can conquer the lust. Lust is nothing in front of the such kind of devotee. So that's why even though it's graphically describing, if that Agnitra was getting attracted to Purva Chitti, like films, even though persons are not there, someone has directed the film, but the person who is watching the film is getting agitated. So similarly, Sukadeva Goswami, like we may feel he may get agitated, but he's completely transcendental. So what we can see is the power of Krishna consciousness is by the power of Krishna consciousness, what will happen? One can conquer lust. But till the time we conquer lust, it is going to be a great struggle. So, and you see, while Sukadeva Goswami is explaining this thing, he's also telling one of the concepts, 10 concepts of Srimad Bhagavatam are there, Manvantareshana. So he's also going from one Manu to other Manu to other Manu. There are 14 Manus are there. Like, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains. Sahasra Yuga Paryantam Aharyat Brahmano Viduhu Ratri Yugam Sahasrantam Teho Ratra Vidojana. So the entire day of Brahma, in the entire day of Brahma, how many Manus will come? 14 Manus will come. What is the duration of the Brahma? Like if you take Treta Yuga, Satya Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Kali Yuga, 4 of them into 1,000 times, and that is one day of Brahma, and that is the duration of one night of Brahma also. In that one day of Brahma also, 14 Manus comes. So like in the 14 Manvantara, so 14 Manvantara names are also there, like Swayambhuva, Swarojisha, Uttama, Tamasa, Raivata, Chakshusha. So while this event was going on, it most probably occurred during the Chakshusha Manvantara. So you see, that's why I'm saying Bhagavatam is a recorded event. It's not only telling some story, it's giving a time reference also. So at this time reference, this event has happened. But of course, you may ask, because in the history of our books also, all the events are not recorded. Similarly, Bhagavatam has recorded specific events where the Krishna consciousness can be highlighted. So like that. So, but the Krishna's strength is like, if you one day of Brahma, 14 Manus are coming, but in a year of Brahma, 5,040, and in an entire lifetime of Brahma, 5,04,000 Manus are coming. You see, Manu are very powerful, and we are called as Manusha. Manusha means followers of the Manu. So from, of course, Manusha also has another meaning. Manusha means one who controls the Man Isha. So like that. So such a powerful Manu who is there for 71 Divya Yuga cycles, but in a day of an entire lifetime of Brahma, 5,04,000 Manus are coming. And what is this entire lifetime of Brahma? Yasyaika Nishwasita Kalam Atavalambya Jivanti Loma Vilaja Jagadandanata. Vishnu Mahan Saihayasya Kala Vishesho Govinda Madhipurusham Tamaham Bhajam. Such a great duration, but it is a small. What is that? Just exhale. Yasyaika Nishwasita. Just a breathing. Inhale and exhale. That is the duration there also. If such great Manus are like that, what about us? So, but here this event has happened in the most probably during Chakshusha Manvantara. So, but what about us, Sukadeva Goswami? That's why even though when we are reading these descriptions, we have to be very careful about our situation. What is our situation? When Lord Narasimha appears in this creation, the material world, Prahlad Maharaj is praying. One of the prayer he says to Lord Narasimha, Jihvaikato achyuta vimarshati mavitrupta shishnonyatas tvagudaram shravanam kutaschit granonyatas chapaladut kachakarma shakti bahva sapatna iva gehapati lunanti. He's saying that, oh Nursing Dev. So one of the aspect of the prayer is about my tough situation, my hopeless situation. That is the because Krishna is the Supreme Lord. I am an infinitesimal jiva struggling with so many things. So now he is clearly describing his hopeless situation. What is the situation? Jihvai kato achyuta vimarshati mantrutta. My senses, my jiva, constantly hankering for give me this sweet dish, give me that palatable dish, constantly tormenting me. So Achyuta, oh Lord Narasimha, my tongue is constantly tormenting me. Jihvaikata Achyuta Vimarshati Mahavitrutta. And then Shishna. Shishna means genitals. Genitals also constantly disturbing me. So the skin wants to touch a soft thing, always. So it is also tormenting. And then Shravanam, I want to hear wonderful music. I'm changing song after song after song after song. So many songs are coming, but still I am not satisfied. I'm hankering for that. So nice music. Ghana, smell. I want to know. That's why everyone puts this fragrance, and anyone who is going to corporate or anyone they come the perfume. But it's a alcoholic content. This also, so many bad habits they go away by the power of Krishna consciousness in the association of devotees. I was in the days. Initially, I was also used to put, but when devotee told, Prabhuji, this has a alcohol content. We should not use. Done. So devotees association is so powerful that all the bad habits they go away without your notice. So that's why we should not be afraid of being away from the devotees association. We should be happy. We should be happy to in the association of devotees because Prahlad is explaining who is a devotee of Lord Narasimha on whose strength, whose prayer strength he came, he appeared, and he's saying that my situation is this hopeless situation, and what to speak of us. Lord is not coming every day. We are coming. Krishna is not giving his darshan. But Prahlad Maharaj is, of course, is praying on our behalf. So eyes wants to see the beautiful form. Tormented by the eyes. That's why I want to go to watch movies, watch serials, this, that, watch all kind of nonsense things. Why? My eyes are tormenting. Oh Narasimha, where is my hope? So he's saying that. What is the situation? Bahva sapatna iva geha patim lunanti. It's like a one king earlier times. Like a king can marry multiple wives. Like Arjuna also had multiple wives. Krishna has 16,108 queens. So if for example, if a king married many wives and wives want to spend with the king at the same time, what will happen? He will die. So our situation is that all these wives, senses, ear, nose, genitals, skin, everything, they're all like wives. They are constantly tormenting. You do this, you do this, you do this. What will happen? We are frustrated. Bahva sapatna iva geha patim lunanti. So this is the exactly situation Prahlad Maharaj is praying. On the other hand, Sukadeva Goswami is graphically describing unaffected, but if you do that, gone. Our situation is a hopeless situation. That's why Krishna very emphatically is saying that Manashashtanendriyani Prakriti Stani Parshati. We are all struggling with mind and the senses. So that's why Yad Vishnuvar Chirachirnam Chaskanda Tapayeshwaram. Bhagavatam says, don't make friendship with the mind. Don't make friendship with the mind. Mind is the biggest enemy, biggest cheater. If you trust enemy, you are gone. So that's why we should not hear to the mind. So now what you will ask, what I should hear? I should hear Srimad Bhagavatam. What I should hear? I should hear Srimad Bhagavatam, which is a Yugatam Bhagavatam Rasamalayam. It's a fully nectarian juice. So we should. So, but one of the problem is, I am conditioned. I am affected by the sexual attraction. I am affected by the constant desires for sense gratification. Then what I do? Because what I am doing, there is a guilt is there. But I want to drag Krishna to my level also. That's why people ask question. One of the famous question people ask. Why did Krishna marry 16,108 queens? Why did Krishna perform Rasa Leela? As if, I'm thinking because I'm affected by the lust, I want to enjoy, and because I am like this, so Krishna must also be like that. That's why Krishna is not satisfied with one queen. He married 16,108 queens. Not only that, he's not happy with that. He danced with only crores and crores of gopis in the Rasa dance. That's why I asked why one of the inherent reasons is because I am affected by lust. I want to drag God also to my level. But foolish people, they don't understand. This is the topmost exhibition of the Krishna's pastimes with the living entity. You see, we are talking about only taking darshan of the God. But Krishna not only gave darshan, he's dancing hand by hand, leg by leg. No, he's dancing with unlimited gopis. So that is the highest reciprocation of the God, Supreme Lord Krishna, with the infinitesimal living entity. What is our significance? I said that in the just Esyaika Niswasita Kalam Athavalambya. Just in the breath. What is our significance? I may feel I am a very great person, this, that, but we has very insignificant value. But when one such an insignificant living entity is rendering devotional service to Lord Krishna, Krishna becomes obliged to give the highest reciprocation dancing with living entity. This is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give us. You see, Anarpita Charim Chira, Karunayavati Nakalu, Samarpita Unnatojjala Rasam, Swabhaktim Shriyam. Krishna, Chaitanya, in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, came to give this. No one in the history has given that. Even though so many other sampradayas are there, no one deals with such concepts in such a beautiful way. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that's why it's called Namo Mahavardhanya, is the most beneficent incarnation. Okay, so we want to drag Krishna to our level. That's why this question comes. That's why this question comes. That's why Bhagavatam, Sukadeva Goswami, after explaining the most important cream of the entire Srimad Bhagavatam, is saying that after explaining that, he's saying that Vikriditam Brajavadu Idam cha Vishnoho Shraddhamito Nushrunuyat Ahavarnayet Yaha Bhaktim Param Bhagavati Pratilabhya Kamam Hridroga Mas Apahinot Achirena Diraha. Is explaining that actually one who hear about this, the topmost pastime of Lord Krishna with Shraddha, what will happen? What will happen? Kamam. We are all suffering from kama, lust. Krishna is saying that Rudrogam, it is a disease of the heart. Apahinot Achirena Dira. Very quickly that will go. Of course, we are not supposed to read that because we don't have Shraddha. What is the Shraddha is required to read that one? The Radha and Krishna pastimes, the Gopis and the Krishna's pastimes, they are the topmost. There is no tinge of lust. Only when we have that understanding, when we are convinced of that, then someone is allowed. Of course, Srila Prabhupada says one who is following the footsteps of Shet Goswamis, then they will slowly be eligible. But Shraddha here is, one should understand, there is no tinge of lust when Krishna is dancing with Gopis or Radha Rani. So that is the thing. We can't drag Krishna to our level. We are all suffering from our mind and the senses. So just to understand that Krishna does not have lust. Of course, this pastime is very difficult to understand because when someone is with women, it's very tough to understand how he can be free from lust. No, it is not possible. No, any living entity in the association of women can be free from lust. So that's why people ask this question. So Krishna is also like one of us. No. So if you see Kubja pastime, Kubja, who is Kubja? She's a hunchbacked lady, very ugly. But she has the service of giving sandalwood paste to Kamsa. Earlier days to keep these bodies fragrant, they apply sandalwood. But of course, nowadays sandalwood is so costly. We are just near Mysore. We don't have that much opulence to apply the sandalwood paste. But this is the way to keep our bodies fragrant. They're not the modern way of perfume, which is nasty smell. Because just to cover their sweat and that sometimes people don't take bath and just to cover that they apply. But this is such a nice way and every day Kubja used to take that sandalwood paste to Kamsa. One day when Krishna came from Vrindavan, Akrura brought them, and Krishna and Balram, they are from village, right? They are village boys, cowherd boys. First time they came to Mathura and they are all Gopa friends. They are very, they want to see the city. First time, like when I was also went to the city, it's a natural curiosity what is there in the city. Of course, Krishna wants to give his darshan to all the residents of Mathura, but is relishing with his Gopa friend. And suddenly he encountered Kubja. And Kubja offered this sandalwood paste to Krishna. And Krishna was so happy. Immediately that hunchback lady became a very beautiful girl, very beautiful young girl. And immediately lust arised in her heart. I want to unite with Krishna. Of course, Krishna knows the desire in her heart because he was pleased with her service. He want to engage her in his devotional service. He accepted that request. And later, when Krishna went with Uddhava to the private quarters of Kubja, so and immediately what she did, she has taken the lotus feet of Krishna, thinking that had she touched the lotus feet of Krishna onto her breasts. So immediately what happened? Generally, what will happen? The boy may immediately get agitated. She thought Krishna is also an ordinary boy, but she could not understand that because of Krishna, I was transformed into a beautiful girl. But she was thinking that let me agitate Krishna because she want to enjoy with Krishna. But what happened? Rudroga Kamam. It's gone. The lust which was there in her heart, gone. And she immediately became purified. So you see, whatever may be the reason we have, if we come in touch with Krishna, whether we are lusty, angry, these, that, I have so many anarthas. But if I am in touch with Krishna by the process of devotional service, what will happen? Hridroga. All our diseases of the heart will go away. That's why Krishna's name is called Madana Mohana. He is the conqueror of the even Cupid also. So that's why even though I may be having so many problems, I'm struggling with my mind and the senses. I have all kind of anarthas. But there is a great hope. We are with the greatest master, who is a Mother Mohana. By being in touch with him, we can be freed from this thing. Not only Krishna, what to speak of Krishna? Krishna's devotees. Just now I have described about Sukadeva Goswami. Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita also we see Arjuna went to Swargaloka and just he saw one time, and Indra and other people were thinking, yes, Arjuna wanted to unite with Urvasi. And they said, you Urvasi, go and just spend time with Arjuna. And Urvasi went very beautifully, and that is also graphical description there. So, and when she went to Arjuna and she said, I want to unite with you. And then Arjuna said, no, you are like my mother. You are my mother, grandmother, mother, because she was there with Puru, right? So he said, because he's a devotee of Lord Krishna, even those situations that are very adverse, which are very agitating, still no one is denying. Everyone wants Arjuna and Urvasi to unite, no problem. But Arjuna, being a devotee of Krishna, he said that no, I am seeing you like a mother, I don't want. Urvasi cursed him, but still he accepted the curse. But he did not violate his boundaries. He said, you are my mother, you are my grandmother, I don't want to unite with you. That is the power of devotional service of Lord Krishna. And Haridas Thakur, in one of the previous classes, already Haridas Thakur pastime is explained, so I am not explaining that. So, not only that, Vaikuntha women, when the description of Vaikuntha comes, all the young girls and young boys, they were traveling together in the airplane, best of the airplanes. But they are not attracted to each other. So one who is attracted by the beauty of Lord Krishna, Radha Krishna, and their glories, what will happen? They are not attracted by the beauty of opposite sex. So, but now question comes, from where such attraction is coming actually? Because that such attraction is coming from Krishna only. Because otherwise it can't be so intense. Janma Dyasya Taha. Everything, whatever we are seeing in this creation or beyond this creation is also coming from Krishna. That's why it is insurmountable. The attraction between the opposite sex is insurmountable because it is coming from Krishna. So, but when Krishna wants to, because it is there that Krishna wants to get attracted by the feminine nature, so that is also there in the material world in the perverted reflection. But why, whether Krishna gets attracted to a mundane beauty? No. He gets attracted to the beauty of his internal potential. If he wants to get attracted, he will generate a woman from his internal potential. And we all know who is that internal potential, Srimati Radharani. So that's why when Krishna is enjoying with his potency, there because when we enjoy, we want something from external to us. But Krishna is not enjoying something external to him. Krishna is enjoying something which is internal to him. That's why foolish people misunderstand this passion. But Krishna is not enjoying something which is external to him. He generates women out of his internal potency and he spends time with them. And all the gopis, they are also from the form of the part of the internal potency of Lord Krishna. So that's why this intense attraction between male and female is insurmountable. Why? Because it is coming from Krishna. The only way is when we are in touch with Krishna. There is no other way. The Saubhari Muni, great rishis, they fell down. So Lord Kapila says, Balam me pasya mayaya Srimaya Jaino Disham. Ya karoti pada kranta Bruvi Jrumbena Kevalam. The Maya's greatest instrument is the potency of attraction between the male and the female. Just by Bruvi Jrumbena, just by the eyebrow switch, women can attract men and men get attracted to the woman. Why? This potency is coming from Krishna, insurmountable. We see great people in this entire history, Cleopatra and those people, easily conquered the men. No, so that is the potential of Krishna. So without being in touch with Krishna, there's no way to come out of this anarthas, no way to come out of this lust. So, but the thing is, the greatest devotees of Lord Krishna, like like Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, actually they are transcendental personalities. They can never be attacked by the lust. But but they never cross their etiquette. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, one time, like any sannyasi when comes, right, when they are giving discourses, all the devotees, they want to meet and speak to them and they take their guidance or tell their problem. So one of the disciples, one of the god brothers of Srila Prabhupada, who along with his wife went and approached Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and especially this Mataji, wife of that disciple of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, she want to speak in private with Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who is the spiritual master of Srila Prabhupada. And what Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said is, no, I cannot speak with you in private. Whatever you want to ask me, whatever you want to query me, you can ask me only here. I can't meet you in private. You see, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who is an acharya, who is an elderly person at the time, and who is a transcendental, but is not crossing his etiquette. So even the great personalities, Adyad Acharati Shreshtas Tattat Evetorojan, the great personalities, they are showing by their etiquette that we cannot cross the boundaries. So we should also learn that we can also, irrespective of whichever ashrama we are, we can never cross our boundaries. Especially unrestricted mixing of men and women has to be avoided. That's why in all ISKCON temples we have separate boundaries. So even such great acharyas are doing that. Who we are? I already told you that what is our hopeless situation? There's no hope for us. No hope for us. So not only that, Srila Prabhupada also exemplified, he demonstrated this principle. In Bhagavatam, there's a nice verse comes. Matra svashra duhitrava navi viktasano bhavet balavan indriya gramo vidvamsam api karshati. You see, Bhagavatam is telling the potency is so strong, so insurmountable. You can't even mother, sister, daughter. The relation between mother and the son is divine. The relation between sister and brother is divine. The relation between daughter and father is divine. But the thing is, Bhagavatam is saying that you can't be alone with your mother, you can't be alone with your daughter, you can't be alone with your sister, and not on the same seat. Why? Balavan Indriya Grama Vidvamsmapi Karshati. Even you may be a very great sense control person, Vidwan, but senses are so strong that will pull you down. So what to speak of an ordinary person like all of us? So, and Prabhupada demonstrated this principle. One time Srila Prabhupada with, with his sister, Bhavatarini Mataji, Pishima, everyone, all the disciples of Prabhupada call her Pishima. No, whenever Prabhupada used to come India, Pishima used to come and then she used to meet Srila Prabhupada in his quarters, and then she used to prepare nice foodstuffs for Srila Prabhupada. And he used to like also. So one time what happened, Srila Prabhupada was with his disciple, one of the brahmachari disciple, and then Pishima entered into the quarters, and both of them, they're speaking in Bengali. Being a foreigner, he's not understanding anything, and he thought that let me go away from this place. Anyhow, brother and sister only, let them speak. And Srila Prabhupada said, sit, to his disciple. He did not understand why he has to, he's not making out anything from the Bengali language. Then he was, anyhow, Prabhupada said, I can't deny my spiritual master's order. He was sitting there. And then later, after some time, again he was thinking, array, not making Bengali language, like when I hear Bengali, like it appears like very noisy kind of course, Bengali language is a very sweet language. All the acharyas have written so much literature. So, but after some time he was thinking again, oh, let me go back. He was again trying to stand. And then suddenly Prabhupada said, stop, sit. So, of course, he said, of course, afterwards, Bhavatari Mataji left, and Srila Prabhupada quoted this shloka. Of course, Srila Prabhupada is also very elderly, but he wants to, Acharya means one who practices and then shows. That's why he became Acharya. So he's demonstrating the principle of shloka, Matra Svashra Duhitrava, Na Vivikta Suno Bhave, Balavan Indriya Gramo, Vidvamsam Api Karshati. So not only that, like my spiritual master, this is a recent event happened in the September only, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj. So Maharaj, after because of recommendation to him, Maharaj also goes for walk. Every day he goes for walk wherever he is there. One time he was walking, I think Mumbai or some other place. He was walking with his disciple and he encountered a young couple, wife and husband. And then Maharaj speaks very politely with whomever he meets. And then Maharaj spoke with them, and then he went on for walking. And then in the back, they were also following. Any spiritual master is there, they want to follow. It's a free opportunity because otherwise it's to associate with one spiritual master is a rare opportunity. All of us have know this. So he was following, but Maharaj just looked back. Who is following me actually? So he saw a woman following, a young girl, like young married girl. Maharaj very politely said, no, that is also we can learn how we can always say to the devotees. We can very politely say, we don't take women along with us. Maharaj was already 78 years, and then there's no point of attraction, but still the etiquette is showing by his example. Like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Prabhupada, Maharaj, not only Maharaj, so many other sannyasis are also, they are never crossing their etiquette. Even though they are in a transcendental state, they might have conquered the lust also. But the thing is, for the sake of other devotees who like therefore so many people must be following them. If they do any kind of cross boundary, crossing the bond, then what will happen? Everyone will guess, oh, he crossed the bond, let me also. So, but for the sake of other devotees, they show that such an exemplified behavior. But important thing, after saying all this thing, Agnidhara, even though he got attracted to the Purva Chitti, and such a graphical description was there, but he was not engaged in illicit relation with Purva Chitti. Down few shlokas, we know that Agnidhara got married to Purva Chitti because it is the plan. Brahma only sent Purva Chitti to Agnidhara. So just like the modern man, oh no, I got attracted to so and so girl, now let me engage in such premarital relationship. No. Like Agnidhara was a devotee of Lord Krishna, but he wanted to enjoy also. So, and he engaged in marriage. So we also have marriage. So that's why in Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says, Dharma viruddha bhuteshu kamosmi bharatashvata. The sex life which is not contrary to religious principles is I am. So that's why Grihastha ashram is also divine. One of the ashrams sanctioned by Krishna. But anything which you are crossing your limits of your ashram, indulging in sex relations or illicit relations, then that is going to destroy. That's why one of the regulative principles of us is no illicit sex. So that's why, so we can't misunderstand Agnidra, because even though he got attracted, he engaged in, like he married and then engaged in generating the progeny, and he has got a powerful progeny. Agnidra, like Priyavrata, Agnidra, and then Nabi, and then Rishabdev, and then Bharata, Jadabharata. No, of course, Jadabharata is a distinction. So you see such a great lineage. So we can't mistake him. But through this incident, it is telling for us, they are showing for us that we can all succumb to the such kind of attraction, because this is coming from Krishna only. So we have to be alert. So now the question comes, as a sadhaka, what is my situation? Yes, our situation is a hopeless situation, very dangerous situation. People may not understand this important concept, because there's no concept of that sense control or that risk is there in the material world. Only because we are blessed by the Srila Prabhupada in the form of his beautiful purpose, this knowledge, we are able to understand. We are in a very actually disastrous situation. Our enemies are constantly with us, they're constantly tormenting us. So, and we also see that how Brahmachari also became a woman in the next life, in his story also there. So, all these things should make us alert. See, all the literature is not for us to point out mistakes at others. It's like a mirror, Cheto Darpana. Darpana. That means when I'm seeing something in the Shastra, immediately I should check, oh, is it I have such kind of disease there in my heart or not? I should check myself. And then we should correct, we should work on us. We should be just like a soldier when he goes into the battlefield, he knows the strengths of him and any like weaknesses of him. Whatever his weaknesses are there, he will avoid such weakness situations. So as a sadhaka, now understanding our weakness is one of these. So we should be very careful, otherwise we may get succumbed and then we may get carried away. There's no one exceptional. Everyone can get carried. Why? Because this potency is coming from Krishna only. So we should be in the strong sadhu sangha, and then we should regularly study Srimad Bhagavatam, and then we should introspect ourselves every day by the help of literatures. We should introspect ourselves every day, because no one is an exception. Whether you're a brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha, sannyasi, no one is an exceptional. Everyone can get carried away. So that's why we should be introspective, alert. We should check every day ourselves. What the devotional service is so powerful. What to speak of gross desires, all the subtle desires will also go ahead, puja, lava, pratishtha. But we have to be alert, alert in Krishna consciousness. So, like that. But ultimately, these may be simple things. But by following this also, we may get fallen trap. Ultimate thing is Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehina rasavarjam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartante. Only when we cultivate the higher taste in Krishna consciousness, then only we can be protected. Otherwise, there is no hope. So that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. Again, I am repeating. Anarpita charin chiran karuna yavati nakalo samarpaitum unnatojala rasam sabhakti shriyam hari purata sundara yuti kadambita sada hrudaya kandara va Saccidananda. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is very nicely mentioned this in the first Adi Leela, first chapter, the first shloka itself. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came us to give the higher taste, which no one has given in this entire creation. That is the Madhurya Rasa. We are not eligible. We are our relationship with Lord is a servant, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give that. So by working towards that goal, we can give up this lower goal of this attraction. Otherwise, it's very tough. So we should all prepare ourselves, our consciousness, keeping this goal and work towards that direction. When you have a big goal, what will happen? So the small disturbances can't affect you. So even though we may get disturbed, agitated in between, we should not be discouraged, because Rupa Goswami says, Utsaha Nischaya Dhairya. We should have enthusiasm, determination, the patience, and all this can come with the help of sadhu sangha and following regulative principles and everyday morning program. Morning program is a must, because without that we can be very weak. And ultimate thing is chanting of the holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. I will end with one nice verse. This is a very nice verse, because He says that Tunde Thanda Vini Gatim Vitanute Tunda Varilate Karna Krodha Kadam Vini Gatimite Karna Pute Pistra Cheta Prangana Sandini Vijayde Sarvendriyanam Krite Najati Janita Kiyage Amrute Krishneti Varnadvai. Rupa Goswami says, I don't know what Amrita is there in these two syllables. In these two syllables, Krishna. I don't know how much ever I am taking this name, I am feeling that I want more and more number of modes. And when they are entering into my ears, I am feeling that as if I need millions of ears. You see, that means his experience is such nature. So when we find the taste in chanting of the holy names, reading Srimad Bhagavatam, association of the devotees, there's a hope for us that we can come out of this. Okay, so let me take hold of this session here. Thank you so much for hearing patiently. Now the forum is open for any questions or comments.
You mentioned in the class, first of all, thank you for this lecture. You mentioned in the class that every pastime Srimad Bhagavatam is supposed to serve the purpose of Krishna consciousness. So in this pastime of Agnindra, I mean, if that is the complete essence of Agnindra story, so is the takeaway from Krishna consciousness perspective, the takeaway is that although he was agitated, but still he, I mean, the lady was sent by Brahma as if some transcendental plan, and although he was agitated, he controlled himself and very meticulously arranged in Lord's plan to, to have a lineage which will be remembered for all time. Is that correct understanding?
So, there are multiple purposes. One of the things is through this pastime we can understand how the attraction is so strong. But even the attraction is so strong, he did not cross his boundaries, understanding that he has to generate progeny. He married to her. See, when marriage is there, don't think that there's no attraction between male and female. Only because there's some attraction is there, male, even within devotees also. I am also married. So there's also attraction between male and female, but is not religious. He's saying that okay, let me marry and create progeny. But we also know we have a Garbhadana samskara is there. Of course, Shri Rishabdev says, Guru na sasya, Pita na sasya, Janani na sasya, Daivam na sasya, Samupeta mrityu. If you are not able to relieve your dependence from birth and death cycle, you can't have the right. So of course we are trying. So you see that is the purpose. So there are multiple things. Two things we can learn is he did not cross the boundaries. He engaged in like married Purachiti and created great lineage, because great lineage also because only when women and men unite, that is the automatic system created by Krishna. Otherwise, how the children progeny can come? So these two things. Yeah, because this leading to a great thing. Okay. So of course, see, every pastime of Bhagavatam can be seen from different angles, but the way which I have seen like is from this angle. Okay. But different acharyas give different interpretations also. Okay. Any other questions or comments? Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you for patiently hearing. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyascha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
wonderful Sunday morning, Kartik month in some places, and also Ekadasi, right? Yes, sir. So, and to hear from His Grace Saccidananda Vigraha Prabhu, so nice that how this attraction is so difficult to overcome, but there's only way that we can overcome is by surrendering to Lord Sri Krishna. And one important point which I actually took is that we are here and Krishna is here. So we think Krishna is like all of us, and we bring down Krishna from the transcendental position to the material position. So let's thank Saccidananda Vigraha Prabhu by chanting Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
By hearing this transcendental Krishna Katha can actually purify our consciousness, which is actually contaminated for millions and millions and millions of lifetimes.
But Krishna Katha is the only solution. There is no other solution, no other solution, no other solution. In fact, this morning we were reading from Srila Prabhupada book, and Prabhupada said that to overcome these material things, there is only one way, and that to surrender to Krishna. There is absolutely no other ways. We cannot artificially manufacture any other ways, but only to surrender to Krishna. So anyway, so fantastic, and thank you, Prabhuji. It is so nice to hear and inspire ourselves, motivate ourselves to go deep into and surrender to our supreme and merciful Lord Sri Krishna. So just couple of announcement. First and very important, and also would have heard that. So what we have next Sunday morning, Amaglila Prabhu, His Grace Amaglila Prabhu is visiting Bangalore, and especially our Whitefield congregation. So please be ready for that. What time and where is the program? 10:30 a.m. And where? In Bhakti Center? No. Pandal. Where is the Pandal? A block ground. Just opposite. So it's not here, but the A block ground. So please be ready and take this wonderful opportunity. No introduction needed for Amaglila Prabhu, such a wonderful preacher, and I think he's famous all over the world. You can see his YouTube followers is unlimited. So we have wonderful opportunity to associate with His Grace Amaglila Prabhu Sunday morning 10:30 a.m. at ACS A block ground. So please don't miss, and we have registration form there. So those who want to join, you must register, and then only you will given a permission. Even for Kumaras, they wanted to have another Jai Vijay. So you will be checked not Jai Vijay, but we'll have other Jai Vijay there. They will check, have you registered or not? Once you register the access, then only the entry will be given. So please make sure that you do registration. Of course, for the practical purposes, that how many are coming and do all other things. So please do register. So any other?
Usually we have youth.
So the 27th 10:30 morning is for the congregation, and the same day evening with the Amaglila Prabhu special dedicated program for the youth, and the same place. So please make sure that if your friends, colleagues, relatives, and especially the new people to be targeted, so make sure that you attend that. So, only boys, huh? Prabhu said something. Okay, anybody coming first time to our center here? So please stand up. So let's welcome Mataji by giving a book from it's a gift from our center. Please come. Let's chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra for this devotees.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
So this we have a program every Sunday, Mataji. So please do join and take benefit of hearing, associating with the devotees together. We have one more couple of. First time, Prabhu. Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
We'll have Narasimha. Prasad is also there if you are if you cannot tolerate, but yes, Prasad is there. And just one more thing that from the December 1st, what is that? Book marathon. So please be ready that we'll be launching the book distribution marathon when His Grace Amaglila Prabhu is there next Sunday. Hare Krishna.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
जय